If only I had listened to my parents, I wouldn't be in this miserable condition. Look at me at 26, looking like an old woman with this agent of bad luck I call a son. Because of him, I couldn't finish my education. Because of him, men do not ask for my hand in marriage. Once upon a time in the city of Lagos, there lived a young boy named Ugonna. Ugonna lived alone with his mother Nneka, who raised him with so much hatred and maltreatment. She blamed Ugonna for coming into her life and ruining it. So she uses every opportunity she gets to beat and maltreat him. I will deal with you today, you this useless and God-forsaken boy, Nneka shouted as she kept on flogging Ugonna. I am sorry, mommy, please forgive me. Ugonna continued crying and pleading, but his pleas fell on deaf ears as his mother continued to flog him. He shouted and shouted until a neighbor came in and saved him. Madam, what is the problem? Why are you always beating this boy? This boy is too young for this wickedness. Instead of always treating him like this, like a common thief, why don't you send him back to his father? The mention of Ugonna's father took Nneka down memory lane on how life happened to her. She was a very young, beautiful girl that had just finished secondary school, then got admission in school for part-time studies. In order to be able to take care of herself, she got a job as a sales girl in one of the warehouses close to school. There she met Mr. Uche, one of their biggest customers. They became casual friends and gradually they started dating. She knew he was married, but he told her he was tired of his marriage and was in the process to divorce his wife. He provided for her and gave her all she wanted. Mr. Uche was a very wealthy man. He took over paying her school fees and she had to stop her sales girl job. He got her an apartment and furnished it. She lived a sweet, happy life. They continued dating and with time, Mr. Uche requested that he needed to see her family for a formal introduction. Introduction was done and her family welcomed him wholeheartedly. Nneka didn't tell her parents that Mr. Uche was a married man, but Mr. Uche told them himself. Nneka's father stood against the marriage and warned him never to come to his compound again. My daughter will not be a secret or a second wife to someone. Hey, Nneka, so you want to go and break another woman's marriage at this age? Her mother cried. Nneka, what is wrong with you? You are just 19 years old though. Where are you rushing to? Her father warned her and told her to go back to Mr. Uche and return every gift he has given to her. But Nneka refused. Papa, I will marry him, oh. I will marry him. I love him, Nneka protested. Nneka, you love a man of 45 years old, a man old enough to be your father. Never will it happen that my daughter would put herself in such a bondage all in the name of marriage. Her father threatened to disown her if she ever tried to get pregnant for Uche. Months passed and the relationship blossomed as Uche kept on hoping that Nneka's parents would accept him. Then her father, seeing that Nneka was hell-bent on keeping her relationship with Uche, gave them a condition. He told Mr. Uche that he would present his divorce papers signed by his first wife, showing that they are no longer legally married, before he would accept Nneka's bride price from him. This condition made Uche so angry and his attitude towards Nneka changed. Uche became unnecessarily aggressive towards her, always shouting at her at every given opportunity. Then one day, she never saw him again. Several times she called his line but he never picked her calls. A few days later, she came back from school and met a woman and two men standing in front of her apartment. The woman introduced herself as Uche's wife. It was the neighbors that saved Nneka that day as the woman ordered those boys to throw her out of the apartment and beat her up. She didn't allow her to take anything from the apartment as she claimed that everything in it was bought by her husband. Nneka was so scared that she didn't even look at the woman properly. Painfully, she moved back to the hostel with her friends, and after some days, as they were coming back from the lecture hall, Nneka fell down and passed out. She was pregnant for Uche at 19 years. Nneka was devastated. Her father already warned and threatened to disown her if she ever came home pregnant, and now it has happened. She thought of what to do and decided to go to Mr. Uche's hometown to see if anyone could help her locate him or at least give her a clue of his whereabouts. She got to his village and heard the unimaginable. Uche he died in a car accident, and from what they told her, he died that very day he stopped picking her calls. She recalled that the day his wife came to push her out of the apartment, she wore black, signifying that she was mourning. Nneka cried and screamed, but she didn't have the mouth to tell anybody that she was carrying his child. She decided to let the dead rest in peace. She got home and went to the hospital. The doctor confirmed that she was already 5 months gone and terminating the pregnancy would be risky. Just like that, she became a single mother without a source of livelihood. Her father kept to his words and disowned her. Nneka had nowhere to go, so she moved to the village to live with her grandmother. Unfortunately for her, 2 years later, her grandmother died, leaving Nneka and Ugonna, her son. If only I had listened to my parents, I wouldn't be in this miserable condition, she cried. Look at me at 26, looking like an old woman with this agent of bad luck I call a son. The worst is that this boy is a spitting image of his father, and God knows I would do anything not to ever remember Uche in my life again. Because of him, men do not ask for my hand in marriage. Because of him, I couldn't finish my education, and no man wants to marry a single mother. She was still talking when Ugonna came back with the neighbor. His stomach looked so full and he was carrying an extra plate of egusi soup and eba. The painful thing is that Nneka collected the food from him, ate the food and didn't give him anything to eat till the next day. Nneka sells fruits and vegetables which Ugonna carries around the market every day. She had the money to take Ugonna to school but refuses to do so. One day, as they were coming back from the market, it rained heavily, but they continued to walk under the rain. A man stopped by and told them to enter his car so he could drop them at the next junction. He introduced himself as Obiora, and with time he became friends with Nneka. When he asked who Ugonna was, Nneka told him that Ugonna is her late cousin's son whom she took in because of how close she was with her cousin before she passed. These words broke Ugonna's heart as Nneka warned him seriously never to call her mommy again. From that day, Ugonna started calling her Auntie Nneka. The presence of Obiora brought more pain for Ugonna. Obiora never liked him and beat him at any chance he got. Every weekend, Ugonna would go to his house to clean and wash. After cleaning, he would go back to the shop to continue hawking fruits and vegetables for Nneka. Ugonna watched as his mother used her hard-earned money to take care of Obiora. She would cook for him, buy him clothes and fuel his car with her money. This same money that he helps in making, and she couldn't even send him to school. Ugonna silently prayed to God to destroy their relationship, but maybe God had other plans. Ugonna was lying on his mat waiting for Nneka to come home and give him food. There was food at home, but he dared not go to the pot even if he was dying of hunger. Nneka got home with so much happiness that she brought out her finger and showed Ugonna. Obiora just proposed and we are getting married. Ugonna nearly collapsed, so it finally happening, he muttered to himself. What did you just say? Nneka shouted. Nothing, oh. So you can't even say congratulations to your mother for finally getting a man to marry me. You think it's easy to get a man these days? Husbands are scarce, so my friends say congratulations. Look at you with your mango head like your stupid father. Congratulations, Ugonna said as he quietly went into the room. He didn't know what to expect, but he knew that his life had only gotten worse. They had a quiet wedding and Nneka and Ugonna moved in with Obiora. Ugonna was used to doing all the house chores, but this time he knew that there are levels of chores. He would work from morning till night. Obiora would never allow him to rest. One Sunday afternoon, they had just finished having lunch when a lady knocked on the door with her luggage. Obiora introduced her as Chidera, his daughter. Nneka was confused. Obim, why didn't you tell me that you had a daughter? Now that you know, what difference does it make? Obiora asked in anger. Nneka looked at him, being too careful with her words to avoid making him more angry. Obim, I am sorry, but you should have at least told me. Now she just showed up here and you brought her in without my consent. Nneka, so I should take permission from you before bringing in my daughter to live with me? You must be out of your mind. Obiora never apologized. Instead, he started giving Nneka his daughter's rules and regulations, especially when it comes to food and how she loves her food to be prepared. Most importantly, tell your nephew to stay in his lane and never ever make my daughter uncomfortable. Nneka didn't know what to do, but she accepted the situation as it was. She was sad because she told Obiora that Ugonna was her cousin's son, but he had proudly brought his daughter home without her permission. Chidera treated Nneka and her son with so much wickedness. She was so cruel to Ugonna. Although Nneka did everything humanly possible to make Chidera happy and like them, but Chidera never cared. Obiora supported her and threatened to end the marriage whenever Nneka complained to him about the way Chidera treats them. Anytime Nneka cooks and she doesn't like it, she would empty the entire pot of food on Nneka's head. The pain was too much for Nneka to handle, but she kept enduring it for the sake of her marriage. Anything to answer a married woman. One day, Nneka approached Chidera. What do you want me to do to make you happy? Please tell me and I will do it. You are just like a daughter to me and I will do anything for you. You, Nneka, my mother, you must be out of your mind to even open your mouth to say that to me. What can an old barren witch like you offer me? Chidera said as she pushed Nneka out of her way. Nneka was shocked. I am not old though. I am just 28 and I am not barren, she answered as she quietly moved to her room. Days later, Nneka was sitting in her shop waiting for customers when Ugonna came. Mommy, can I ask you a question? Ugonna, what is it? Mommy, are you sure that Auntie Chidera is Brother Opiora's daughter? Thank you so much for listening to my story. I hope you enjoyed the story. Watch out for the part 2 of this story. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please and please subscribe to support my growth. And to my subscribers, thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate. Do not forget to on your notification bell for the part 2 and more interesting stories from Amaka's folk tales. Bye bye.